Welcome back to Tracktalk. We've got two more races still to preview as we work towards the culmination of another show. And up next is race 10. It's a Class 4 over 1,200 metres street car success up at the top. Crystal Warrior having his fourth run in Singapore. Iron Ruler is back in action. Imperium, no fun, no gain, could go well fresh. Interesting runner. Chiji Achiever's in form. Sacred Judgment is Mad Fakim Camarudin drawn wide. And over the page there, Ironclad, Zygarde and Salamence, who's not got a rider booked as yet. We're going to start with Ironclad here, Scott, with a trial and also some track work. Sorry, I said Ironclad, Iron Ruler, who's returning after 120 days off.
Yeah, plenty of iron horses going around at the Turf Club, and this was a nice trial. He comes to this task first up, and look, he's a three-time winner and placed on 6 occasions. He's very well performed in his short career so far, and he's definitely an interesting runner from the Falcon Racing.
He is, yes. Last seen running behind Big Hearted in a Karanji B in April. There's his track work with Caristo. That's him on the inside. He goes along well, doesn't he? Rider bobbing away there, having to strain the reins on the Chestnut, who's won 3 from 18. Goes well fresh. Trip, I worry, could be a little bit on the sharp side. What about this fellow, Amazing Breeze, who last time out started slowly but ran home strong. Now, this is in the Red Ocean race.
It is. If Red Ocean comes out earlier on in race 7 and really sort of wins dominantly, I think there's going to be a good push for Amazing Breeze. His maiden was very, very strong when he won over 1,200 metres, and look, he was still hitting the line when he ran 4th in this race, so I think he's got a bit of upside ahead of him.
There's his track work. Jerome Tan and the Applause Racing Stable, who have got a decent following on social media. The stable, not Jerome, who I think he's allergic to social media. He gives everyone else grief about being on social media, but rarely see much of him on there.
Yeah.
But when we do, it can be entertaining.
If he got on there, he'd probably never get off it. He might be quite hooked on it. He might become an influencer.
He might well do. Jerome Tan, the influencer, can you imagine? But he's well used to training winners, and he might have one here with Amazing Breeze as well. Good luck, Jerome. Chiji Achiever is trained by Donna Logan. Now, the Logan team do a super job on social media. Make sure you get across and follow them. This is their horse who won last time, beat Happy Friday.
He looks to be the speed runner in this race. I think, Nick, Geraldine Xiao is going to take a fair bit of a claim here, and lightweights in these sort of races could play a significant little part.
Certainly could in this race. Holding on, obviously, the horse who he beat runs in the 3rd, could win the 3rd, so form could look stronger come 4:30. Sacred Judgment is a horse who represents Mark Walker. Second last time out, has gone close again. He's a horse who's been kept busy, Scott.
He is, Nick. I really like him in this race. Tricky barrier to overcome, but he's another one that gets in with a light race. And look, in this race, this was a great ride by Geraldine Xiao on the front runner, and he was held up a little bit at the half-mile stage, Sacred Judgment, so he can run a big race.
Now, what I find interesting about that, and I think if you're a fan of Sacred Judgment, you'll be pleased anyhow, but I mean, he remains off a mark of 52. Now, this is probably just something I probably don't get my head around as well. I totally understand handicapping, but he's been left off a mark of 52. I mean, I thought that run, I'm not saying he should have been put up, but he's probably been dealt a favour by the assessor. The fact he hasn't adjusted his mark.
Would you have put him up 2 points?
I probably would have put him up 1. I think maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 2's being a little bit much. Maybe 1 at least. But I mean, look, Mark Walker and the Remarkable Stable don't want to hear me say that. But just for those that are obviously watching and looking at it and seeing that run, I mean, it was a good run. He's beaten 2.5 lengths and he stays off the same mark. So for him and his followers, it's obviously a good thing. But it's an interesting angle, the fact that he does remain off the mark, where he's obviously run very well off.
Yeah, I just wonder if also when they take into account also if there's interference in the race, if he's held up at a vital, if there's a bit of interference in a steward's report, I have to go back and have a look at the steward's report, but sometimes that's why they tend to leave them at a mark and not put them up in point.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
Possibly.
Interesting. It'd be great to get one of the handicappers on the show, possibly at some point, if that's ever at all possible. What else do you like? Now, we spoke in the week before we get to the selections. No Fun, No Gains got this super record fresh. You highlighted it to me, and I really did take your advice on board. Course and distance record, fresh record, good trainer, good jockey. There's a bit going on.
He's definitely got ability, this horse, Nick. When he first started racing here, I remember when he won his maiden, and then I think he followed up with maybe a novice win or something along those lines, or initiation. But he's definitely got ability. He went by a bit of a wayside.
Well, he ran in the 3-year-old series.
I remember Daniel Moore winning on him and riding him leading up to that. So
But then
and he was one of the fancied runners
He came back and won 2 Class 4s after it, and then ever since then he's sort of been off games a little bit.
Yeah, but obviously he's had a bit of a break. We haven't seen him in 182 days. I just think, these horses first up with fresh legs, they're going up against some horses that have been racing for quite some time, and sometimes fresh legs are a good thing.
Yes, quite possibly. And no fun, no gain might just be the fresh legs to be with. That's the way I saw the race, and I think you can take a chance. He might be a price too against a horse like Amazing Breeze, who ran so well last time. Ditto Sacred Judgment in defeat. We saw that past run from him. He's run on strong, and obviously Scott quite likes him here. So racing off a mark of 52 looks lenient. And Iron Ruler goes in for 4th place here. I query the trip, but he's down 2 points, and he does go well fresh. Look at that track work as well. He was really working well. 5, 6, 9 and 3 for me in the penultimate.
I'm with 9 Sacred Judgment for Hakim Kamarudin in the saddle. He's got a light weight, he's got a tricky barrier to overcome, but this kid's riding really well at the moment, so he should put him in a nice spot. Number 6, Amazing Breeze, a get back and real fly home sort of runner. I think if the speed's genuine, he'll be doing that in this race. Number 1, Street Cry Success in for 3rd. Another one from the Mark Walker stable, comes here first up and has a pretty good record fresh too, so look out for him. And no fun, no game, like we touched upon. Fresh legs, he's got a great record first up, and he's a horse with a lot of ability. 9, 6, 1 and 5 for race 10.
A good competitive action to finish as well. Race 11 is a Class 4 over 1100 metres on the Poly. Master Riker up at the top, Special King Magnifique. Vulcan's been racing well off his mark. He's drawn nicely too. Could he be the one? Snip ran well last time. Danny Beasley will take the ride. Son Trek, Louis Beausolan. David Sling, Jolin Sial will take the mount there. Miracle, Yes One Ball, and Super Smart, Boom Shakalaka and Galaxy Star are the trio of emergencies. We're going to start with the one saddle cloth here, Master Riker, who, to be fair, Scott, in his last couple of races, he's been racing. He was $40 into $17 this day, and on the face of it, a little bit disappointing, but maybe he's needing the claim now.
I think so. He had a fair few excuses in this race, Nick. He was caught wide when Jurek rode him at that occasion. No fault of his own, obviously, just a victim of circumstance, but he was definitely hitting the line strongly after covering ground the whole way. Yeah,
a bit more Happy Friday Chiji Achiever form there. Here's Vulcan, who has raced some super races recently off his one. I mean, look, here's another example. I mean, I've actually tipped him on top, so I'm not going to argue that. I'm not arguing the case as a one-sided argument, but he's run 2 very good thirds and remains on 60. He has his chance. It's as simple as that.
He really surprised at 1,000 metres here last start, and in the I race they made mention he ran home in 422.60, so that's low flying for a horse that had his first time at the 1,000 metres. And look, he's ultra consistent. He runs some really nice races, and he's won a couple in his career. So I think you've definitely got to have him on a top 3 line.
Yeah, indeed. There's his track work. The RS magazine making him one of their sectional stars as well. The point that Scott alludes to there, certainly salient. 22.6 was his closing sectional. That's good going in 2 very fastly run races. So a good strong tempo will suit him once again. Special King is a horse that hasn't been in the winner's circle for 1,115 days. Do you think it's going to be Sunday?
Well, I hope so, because I've got him on top, Nick, and I've got him probably on a bit of a value line too. We've seen him race in some pretty handy grade races in his career, and I just think he might just find a nice little race here to get that much awaited win.
Yeah, he's certainly an interesting runner, that's for sure. You make a decent case for him, 4 wins over the course and distance. And here's Snip, who raced well last time behind Basilisk, again off this current mark, was finishing off strongest. He's not getting any younger. He's an 8-year-old, but he knows how to win. Yeah,
it's been just under 2 years since we've last seen him win, but he has been consistent. Has been beaten, not big margins, but I just think he's just waiting for that right race to pounce, and I couldn't really think he'd win this. I got him in a top 4 spot, but he might find it a bit tough.
He's another 4 times course and distance winner as well, a bit like Special King, so they go well under these conditions. Was there anything else that you wanted to sort of mention or give a sort of a fleeting chance to? I mean, I found it a little bit difficult, to be honest. There's a few in here who are out of form and probably looking for a grade drop or something else. I was disappointed with Quirat last time. I thought his run was poor.
Yeah, he had really good form leading into that race, Nick. I'm on the same line as you. I couldn't find a spot for him simply off that last run. Look, he's had a bit of a break in between 3 weeks coming into this, so he's one that could possibly improve. I know iRace think he can run a top 3 position, but look, Revolution used to be a great polytrack horse earlier on in his career, didn't he? The son of unencumbered. I remember he won about 3 or 4 in a row, and he used to just come from the back and really fly home, but he's just really struggled to find form. But his second up record's pretty good. He could be one that gets in under the radar.
Both he and Special King once rated 84.
Yeah.
So, as you say, they have been a better class of horse, and not forgetting Korat.
I think he was another one that might have run in a 3-year-old series.
Who was that?
Revolution?
Quite possibly,
I think he might have.
Well, I remember him being a very handy sort of class. He was nearly class 2, wasn't he, at one stage? But there we go. That's the last race, and it might just pay to stick with an informed horse. That's the way I saw it, anyhow. And I think the informed horse is Vulcan here, who is in good form, off a good mark, and should, I think, be able to capitalise, hopefully, in the last. Special King, I do fancy him, a bit like Scott, not as strong, but certainly strong enough to put him in for second. Master Riker with a claim, I think, got a strong chance again once more. And Snip in for 4, 5-2, 1-8 here.
I'm with number 2, Special King. Just looking for a little bit of value in the last race on the day, and this could be a pretty good price, and there might be a little bit of support for him too. Number 1, Master Riker in for second. Really nice run after being trapped wide at his last start when Zurich rode, and he should hopefully get a nice comfy run. 5, Vulcan flew home last start. He's another one that's very consistent in this sort of racing grade. And number 8, Snip, like we touched upon, been a while since he won, but he has been running some pretty good races, so he'll be thereabouts in the finish. For the lucky last, I've gone 2, 1, 5 and 8.
Yes, let's hope it will be lucky in the last race. Special and values, look, it's probably an easy cop-out, but I know many people are going to tip him this week. It's race 7, number 1, Red Ocean, as the best bet. He does look that's a real standout and head and shoulders, I think, when you look for a best bet really on the card. Let's hope he can win. The value, race 9, number 1, Pennywise. Again, same sort of way I'm approaching this week as I did last week. The value was a $20 winner. That will do. Pennywise might be the same, Scott. Yeah,
you were on song last weekend, weren't you, Nick? Good to see. And my best bet comes up. I'm with you, Nick. I'm with Red Ocean in race 7, number 1. He's an up-and-coming horse. I think he's going to go 3 in a row, and he's looking to be an improving type here. My value comes in the last, race 11, number 2, Special King. Zyrul in the saddle. Definitely should get a bit of value, and the Jason Ong stable is going extremely well at the moment.
They certainly are. Media specials, crownjracing.com. Race 10 of the 6, Amazing Breeze for Larry Furley. He would have certainly been impressed by the staying on run from him last time. And Suresh has gone race 7 of 1, Red Ocean as well. I spoke to Suresh earlier on today, and we both discussed how hard this card really is. So Suresh has also gone on the Red Ocean bandwagon. We're all aboard. Needs reinforcing, that bandwagon, doesn't it?
It's a fair bit of support on his shoulders, isn't there?
It certainly is. Now, a couple of fixture updates for you, one closer than t'other. Sunday the 24th of October has now been moved to Saturday the 23rd of October, so just make a note of that. Obviously that meeting now is Saturday, and in early next year, February the 12th has now been pushed back a day to the 13th of February, so they don't coincide with the Hong Kong fixtures. Their season starting up again on the 5th of September, so just a few calendar changes there. For your diary. Coming up, well, on the 9th, as many people know, is National Day, isn't it? So I've got my Singapore flag on here, my lapel
I'll have to get one of my own.
But yeah, National Day, big occasion. Regrettably, it won't be quite the same this year due to the COVID-19 situation and so on and so forth. Obviously, there was so much, I think, due to happen down at Marina, but I'm not sure if that's all been shelved yet. Or
I believe they've pushed it back. From what I've heard, they're going to delay the parade until things are more semi-opened up, I guess. But they'll definitely do something. It's a day that Singapore takes a lot of pride in, and for everyone that's sort of stuck at home, as we like to say, gives them a glimmer of entertainment for a day, I guguess. Yeah,
it's always very entertaining, the National Day Parade. Obviously 56 years old, Singapore.
Yeah, I remember 6 years ago when they had the 50th, and that was a big celebration and a big deal. Now. Yeah, I've been here quite a while, haven't I?
We had a horse, didn't we, SG50?
Yes.
Regrettably, was much. I think he went up to Malaysia and actually won a couple of races. So
Singapore horse winning in Malaysia, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, indeed. It was probably get the SG56 or something next. But anyhow, looking forward to it. National Day race meeting coming up this Sunday afternoon. Many thanks for your company, Scott, as always.
Thank you so much, Nick. Looking forward to another day's racing on Sunday, and hopefully we see some up-and-coming stars for the future.
Let's hope so, indeed. Many thanks to you for joining us as well here on Tracktalk. Hope you managed to find a few winners here over the National Day weekend. And again, as always, happy birthday, Singapore, 56 years of age. From all the team here on Tracktalk, goodbye for now.